Alright guys, out in the park, a little bit of an update for this week. Obviously Trump won the election. It's interesting how people that call themselves liberal aren't very liberal. Because from my viewpoint is they seem to want everything to suit themselves and then hate anybody that disagrees, which for me isn't very liberal at all. I'd call it fascist. I've got to admit, Trump is not my cup of tea, but so far the way he's hammering CNN, the way he's coming out fighting, I think he's actually going to be good for America. I mean, you get conversation pieces like the bit he did with John Deere, where basically he told them about, this is before the election, I'm going to stick 200% tariffs on all your stuff that you're going to bring in from Mexico if you move your factories down there. So he gave them a stern warning. This is how you bring America back. I know a lot of people are anti-tariff and for common market, or what do you call it, free market trade, but there's no such thing in reality. If you look at how markets get manipulated, you see that there's no such thing as free. It's like when people talk about the NHS or benefit system, it's all free. Really, all seems to come out of my back pocket as somebody who pays taxes. But I think it's important to recognise that you're going to see some major transitions. Even Putin seems to be acting a bit more positive lately. I think he's got his out with the issue in Ukraine. So all looking good. I mean, I watched some of the Ukraine guys and they were anti-Trump because of Trump wanting to cut the money off with Ukraine. But as Trump's already said, Ukraine's one of the most corrupt countries on the planet. So you've got to look at it two ways. If you look at Haiti and the money that was spent there, where did it all go? Are the monies being pumped into Ukraine being used in the right ways? Is there other issues going on? That's for time to tell. But what I do like about the Trump lot, and I say the Trump lot, including Elon Musk, JFK Jr., Vance, that most of those people, funny enough, would not normally align with Trump. That shows you how bad the other options are. And that's the bit I think a lot of people missed, you know, except people with a bit of common sense. They couldn't understand why people would not vote for Kamala. For me, I look at Kamala and Beyonce and whatever, and I just think there's no party like a P. Diddy party. Because how many of our celebs used to go to them? For me, that's like, that'd be like the BBC doing, what's that Christmas thing they do with that teddy bear thing? Because you know, with all your Rolf Harris, your Jimmy Saviles, and many more, I don't know how they have got the brass neck on them to do anything for children. But anyway, that's the negative stuff this week. Although the Trump thing for me is a positive, because I could already see he'll actually be more driving for America. Will he go anti-immigration? Is he going to kick everybody out? I think he'll probably lock the borders down, and those that are in, unless you're committing crimes, then I can see you getting deported as quick as possible. The reason for that is they're talking about all these jobs coming back, they're going to need more people. My argument on that is an economy can flex to the size of its population. So if you haven't got enough people, the wages go up, which also normally means the standard of living goes up because more people are working, less people are relying on welfare, housing, social housing, etc, etc. So for me, I look at the UK, it's a country that's flogging a dead horse. You've now got your David Lammy's coming out to kiss the ring of Trump after the stuff he's been saying about him. Same as Starmer. He's having to change his tune. Because whether we like it or not, you know, as people in the UK, the US markets can manipulate the same as the trade deals. I expect you're going to see new tariffs on Japanese cars in America. I do expect you'll see tariffs for all sorts of imports, which will probably include a lot of the UK manufacturing, maybe things like JCBs or whatever that goes out there, because I suppose the majority of Americans use CAT. But I may be wrong. So for me, I think America's on the right path. And what gets me is when I listen to some of the liberals about it, when they're going, oh, he's a fascist, he doesn't care about anybody else. He's caring about his nation, whether you like it or not. Just because you want to bring in people from Africa or whatever, that's your choice. He's not wanting them and he doesn't want to pay for them. That's his choice. The difference is he'll listen to you and disagree with it. You go and say he's a Nazi and whatever. Here in the UK, we're at a breaking point. I don't even know what hotels to use anymore, because I'll be honest with you, I do not want to go into a bloody asylum hotel when I'm paying 300 quid a night when I'm on a work trip. Oh, that's because you're racist. No, because I'm sitting with ISIS and some of the worst people on the planet in these places. Because let's face it, a lot of them are fleeing from countries because they've done things, maybe have war crimes, maybe criminals. Well, just come in, documents not needed. Absolute madness. But anyway, good thing is it's not raining. Also, from my point of view, off home this weekend. I've got enough work now till April, so I'm not fussed about coming back to the UK till I'm needed. Got so much work on that thankfully things may be changing very soon, and the work stuff is now all spreadsheets and data manipulation, so it saves me coming into the UK where it's cold. I can sit and enjoy the winter in Spain with the family. On another positive note this week, been a few people I've engaged with about job opportunities, where we've been discussing about them changing firms. Now, I want to say this to you from my perspective, from how I moved up in companies. I simply changed every 2 or 3 years. I also work for myself. Because a lot of firms, if you're good at your job, they'll crap on you. They'll promise you training, not give it to you. You'll never see what you get promoted. They want to keep you in positions that they know they'd struggle to replace you. I mean, a good one is project managers. Companies are crying out for good project managers, but a lot of project managers struggle to move up, which means your wages can become stagnant. I know some of the guys out there on 30,000. I say, well, invest a bit of time in yourself, do a few courses. I mean, some of the courses are basic, like you could do an IOSH, which is a health and safety one. Maybe do your NEBOSH if you're inclined to get that board on health and safety. Do your Prince 2. Maybe do a leadership and management course, and then apply elsewhere. And I tell you now, you'll probably find that if you're in your 30, about your wages are 30 to 40k. I would recommend doing a starting salary at 55k elsewhere, because you'll find you'll get it. If you've got the experience and the certificates, you might be able to squeeze it up to 65k, because you may be moving into a senior project manager role at that point. And then if you go and do your degree like I'm doing, that can open other opportunities to become a director, which, I mean, I can't really discuss what salary I'm on at the moment, but if you say from a director perspective, I'd be interested in roles at 120,000 above. And the weird thing is, I find that a lot of these firms, the further you go up, the less people know what they're doing, And the more organised you are, the better you look. And it's often little things, because a lot of these people haven't upgraded their skill sets in probably 20 years. And that's if they were any good in the first place. The DEI stuff has made it where a lot of women have come in, a lot of people from other backgrounds have come in, and they're in roles where they're reliant on other people in the room. Which sometimes nice to leave people high and dry when they don't appreciate it. But that's the whole point of getting yourself ahead in life. Because the decisions then become yours. And once you've got your skills, your qualifications, companies can't hold it over you for the long term. Because although there you go, oh, you're replaceable, you're right. And just as much as I can leave here and have 20 job offers for the next 2 weeks and move elsewhere, I can drop onto an agency and have work for Monday. There's so many other opportunities out there. But this all gets down to invest time in yourself. Get your CV and do yourself a favour. Run it through ChatGPT. Get it to suggest things for you. Which courses you should do. So, for example, it's called prompting. If you don't know what it is basically you tell ChatGPT exactly what you're looking for. So, say for example, my CV is geared to asset management. So if I say I want to become a project director, and I give it my CV information, can you recommend how I rewrite this for a project director role? Or even better, say, please rewrite this for a project director role. ChatGPT will do it for you. And then you can say, what courses do you recommend that I should do to highlight my professional abilities? And it will tell you. ChatGPT is a fantastic tool for developing your career because it knows the internet very well. But my best advice, guys, it's nearly Christmas. Enjoy what you've got, plan for next year, and start setting yourself up for the future. UK's hammered. I mean, we're hammered for taxes and everything else, but it doesn't mean we should sit and gripe about it, because a few people I've dealt with, spoken to this week, most of them I could probably get them 40% pay rises simply by encourage them to look elsewhere, because I know what other companies are wanting to pay, and these guys are good at their jobs, so there's no qualms in me giving them a reference or helping them direct for a better future. And I suppose that's what separates me from a lot of the people I often deal with, where they're often just fixated on themselves. I'm actually quite happy when people do better for themselves, because let's face it, the more I help people out, the more likely, if I ever needed help, that network could flex. It could help me out somewhere if I needed it. And that's the whole point. We're all in this together. Everything's in the power of the network. Anyway, guys, that's me. Not a lot else to say, but go Trump.